You reach for a glass of wine after a long day. You don't think twice about it. But the real answer to how this habit began is far stranger than you imagine. It starts not with a human. It starts with a fruit. A piece of fruit, left too long on the ground, quietly turning into something else. Sugar inside the fruit meets wild yeast in the air. The two react. Alcohol is born completely by accident, long before any person existed to drink it. Your ancestors didn't invent this process. They stumbled into it, and that stumble may have shaped your brain more than you realize. Biologist Robert Dudley studies this idea closely. He calls it the drunken monkey hypothesis. Fermented fruit gives off a strong smell. That smell signals ripeness, sugar, and calories. Animals that could detect and enjoy that smell found food faster than ones that couldn't. Over millions of years, primates evolved a taste for that scent. Your body still carries genes tied to breaking down alcohol efficiently, genes far older than agriculture, far older than pottery. Why would evolution wire you to enjoy something so disruptive? Because for your ancestors, it wasn't disruptive. It was survival. A whiff of fermentation meant an easy meal was nearby. Fast forward to actual humans, not just ancestors of primates. Around 13,000 years ago, in a cave near modern-day Israel, something remarkable happened. Archaeologist Li Liu and her team uncovered stone mortars at Raqefet Cave. These weren't ordinary tools. Residue analysis revealed they were used to brew a beer-like beverage from wild wheat and barley, long before farming even existed. Think about that. Beer may have come before bread. People were experimenting with fermentation before they had settled villages, before they had domesticated crops, before they had a name for what they were doing. Why does that matter? Some researchers believe the desire to brew alcohol may have pushed early humans toward agriculture itself, not hunger for bread, thirst for beer. Archaeologist Patrick McGovern, sometimes called the Indiana Jones of ancient ales, has spent decades testing pottery shards from around the world. He has found chemical traces of fermented drinks in China dating back 9,000 years. Rice, honey, and fruit combined into an early alcoholic mixture made long before written history began. Across separate continents, without contact, without shared knowledge, ancient humans kept discovering the same accident. Grain met water. Water met wild yeast. Time did the rest. Here's the counterintuitive twist. Alcohol wasn't just about pleasure. In many ancient societies, fermented drinks were safer to consume than the local water itself. The fermentation process could kill harmful bacteria. So drinking beer wasn't always about celebration. Sometimes it was simply how you avoided getting sick. That single fact reshapes everything. What looks like a party habit may have started as basic survival medicine, and this pattern never really stopped. Every culture that discovered fermentation treated it as something sacred. The Egyptians brewed beer as a form of payment for workers. The Sumerians wrote hymns to a goddess of beer named Ninkasi. Wine appears in ancient religious rituals across the Mediterranean. Humans didn't just drink alcohol. They built entire belief systems around it. So why does any of this still matter to you today? Because that same ancient wiring is still active in your brain right now. The pull you feel toward a drink at a celebration echoes a survival instinct millions of years old. Your ancestors weren't chasing a buzz. They were chasing calories, safety, and connection. Modern science backs this up too. Studies on social bonding show that shared drinking rituals can increase trust and cooperation within small groups, a pattern anthropologists have observed across many traditional societies. There's another layer to this story. Fermentation didn't just happen in fruit and grain. Honey left in water became mead. Milk left too long became something closer to yogurt or kefir. Ancient humans were surrounded by natural experiments, and they paid close attention. Curiosity, not planning, drove most of these discoveries. Did they know what yeast was? Of course not. But they noticed the results. Bubbles forming. A strange smell. A feeling of warmth after drinking it. That feedback was enough. Trial, error, and memory passed the knowledge along, generation after generation, long before anyone wrote a word down. So the next time you lift a glass, remember what's actually happening. You're repeating a behavior older than agriculture, older than writing, older than most of what you consider human civilization. You reach for a glass of wine after a long day. But now you know the truth behind that simple gesture. It isn't really about the drink at all. It's about an ancient survival instinct, quietly still running the show.